I'm not sure if you have already noticed this, but what happens is, let's imagine you have the response variable y as housing prices values, okay? And you're trying to build a machine learning model and try to predict the housing prices. After doing the predictions, you have the y hat, that is the prediction values also. Let's imagine you have various different values, y and y hat. So you have the actuals here and you have the predicted values of y, and we are writing it as y hat. You have various values here. When you are building a machine learning model, let's say you built a linear regression model, okay, linear regression model. The linear regression is going to give you something called the R square. So the R square is a measure of the goodness of fit of a model. Alright, so we will get the R square values for this particular model. If you take these two variables, y and y hat, okay, and you compute the correlation of these two variables, alright, you compute the correlation and you square the correlation, you will find that the square of the correlation that you have here matches the R square value that you will get from the linear regression summary. Now in this video, we are going to mathematically prove how this relationship, that the correlation square is nothing but and the same as the R square value. Now on the left hand side, you have the correlation formula, the correlation between y and y hat. First on the numerator, you compute the covariance of y and y hat, okay? And on the denominator, we have the square root of variance of y multiplied by, this is multiplication, multiplied by the variance of y hat. So this is the formula for Pearson's correlation coefficient, okay? So this is the formula. Now if you square this up, the square of this formula is actually equal to the R square of the model where we try to explain y or try to model y as a function of various other x variables. From that model, you would have received a y hat. Okay, the R square of this model is the same as the square of Pearson's correlation coefficient. How is that possible? We will find out. Okay, we will start from this formula, but you also need to understand R square is nothing but 1 minus residual sum of squares divided by the total sum of squares. We have seen this in detail in the previous video where we talked about why R square is a problematic regression metric. Alright, we understood the intuition behind R square in more detail, very clear detail. In that, we have discussed this concept in high level of detail. Everything will make sense about this formula if you simply watch that. So this is nothing but what we have here. This formula is nothing but what we write as the explained sum of squares divided by the total sum of squares. Total sum of squares is this part. Explained sum of squares is the numerator part, where we have the yi hat, the predicted value of y, and the mean of y. So here we write the mean as mu of y. It can also be written as y dash, simply like this. We're not going to play around with this. So now we are going to start with the left hand side. We are going to start here and make some changes, or we work it out until we reach to this formula. Alright, let's work through this. We are starting with the correlation formula, Pearson's correlation. On the numerator, we have the covariance of y and y hat. Denominator, we have the standard deviation. So we are taking variance and taking a square root, right? So this is essentially standard deviation of y multiplied by standard deviation of y hat. You can write it like this also. Now we know that y is nothing but equal to y hat plus e. Okay, e is the error term, right? We know this. The actual value of y is nothing but y hat plus e. Now we are going to substitute this equation for y into this part of the equation here. Alright, at the same time, we are going to square both the left hand side and the entire right hand side term. We are going to do this. On doing that, we square the numerator part and break it down into two parts. Right, so this is nothing but y. Alright, here also this is nothing but y. We took a square on the numerator, so that's why we are writing it 2 times. Divide by the variance of, if you square it, this term will go off. Right, that's what we have done here. We have got on the right hand side, on the left hand side, we have the correlation square. Now, one property of covariance that you will need to know is covariance of a plus b and x can be broken down into covariance of a and x plus covariance of b and x. It's not plus, this is comma. Alright. This is a property of covariance. You can prove this in Excel by yourself. Simply, we have 2 different columns, A and B. I have just written as 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, and B is incremental values. Okay. So I've created A and B, and A plus B also one new variable we have created. All right. So we will treat it as one of the first variables. This is like y, and this part is like y hat. You can relate to it in this way. Okay. So if you compute the covariance of x, this particular column, and A plus B, this whole column, the covariance of both of these columns, we are getting it as 381.1. Then we also compute the covariance between x and the A column, this column, which is this part, 321.3. Okay, I have a cell. In this cell, let me show that to you. In this cell, there is a formula written: covariance of E column, right? E and C column. This column. C column means column for B. Okay. So the formula is what I have written out over here. This part I have written out the formula that is there inside this cell. Now we are computing covariance of X with A plus B. Likewise, we are computing the covariance of X with A, that is this part, then X with B also individually. Okay, that is this component. Okay, if you add up this two, this will be or is exactly the same as the covariance of X comma A plus B. Simple to prove. So that's the property of covariance. Now we can apply this in our formula. Now if you apply that breakdown to the numerator that we are having here, okay, if you apply this, we will write it as covariance of y hat and y, that's what we have here, and covariance of the error term and y hat. Okay, error term and y hat. We are breaking it down, right? And the whole square is also remaining as it is. Now here you need to look at, what you need to look at here is the covariance between an error term. Error term here is supposed to be completely a random term. There's no pattern inside it, no information inside it. It's completely random. So if you try to compute the covariance between an error and any variable, that value is going to be equal to 0. Okay. We are assuming, this is a major assumption that we are making, is the error is completely random. There is no pattern associated with the error at all. So with this, if you substitute 0, this whole term will go off and we will be left with only this term. You retain it to the next step. We have the square here that's passing over here. Okay. So we have on the numerator covariance of y hat and y hat. This is nothing but the variance of y hat. So let's apply this. If you make that substitution, covariance of y hat and y hat is nothing but the variance of y hat. You apply that into the numerator over here. One of the variance of, so you will have variance of y hat multiplied by variance of y hat. Alright. This is how it expands. Bottom also you have variance of y hat. Okay, so these two terms got cancelled out and we are left with only this part. Okay, now you expand this out. What is variance of y hat? It's nothing but the summation of the differences between the predicted y hat against the mean of y. Right? We expand this term. Likewise, we expand it for the bottom variance of y also. This is the part. This is the formula. Turns out the numerator that we have here is nothing but the estimated or explained sum of squares. This numerator here is nothing but explained sum of squares, and the denominator we have here is the total sum of squares, which at the whole is nothing but the r square. So this is an interesting proof that I thought would be useful to you. So the next time that you are arguing with someone that r square is nothing but the square of correlation, you can use this proof and prove it out to them.